Hey everyone, hope everyone is doing great. Welcome to another Adam Live. Hope everyone is getting ready for a weekend. Wanted to discuss Bitcoin, cryptos, retirement accounts, and talk about some of the reasons why you want to potentially purchase cryptos in a retirement account, answer questions, and then, of course, give you some of my thoughts on where the crypto industry may be going and how we can best utilize our retirement funds to take advantage of the potential growth opportunities. So let me just quickly, for a few minutes, I'll just start at the basics. And the basics are IRS Notice 2014-21 classifies Bitcoin or cryptocurrency as property, like stock. Okay, so there's no question you are permitted to purchase Bitcoin or cryptos in an IRA or 401k because it's treated as property. And there's only three things you cannot buy with a retirement account, and that's under 408 and 4975 of the tax code. You can't buy collectibles like art, life insurance in the case of an IRA. There are exemptions for 401k plans. And then under Internal Revenue Code section 4975, you're not allowed to essentially do any transaction with your IRA or 401k that involves a disqualified person or your retirement plan. So who's a disqualified person? It's essentially you, any of your lineal descendants, parents, children, spouse, daughter-in-law, son-in-law, or any entities controlled 50% or more by such persons. So you can't buy a house and live in it, can't take your Bitcoin and buy yourself a car or a house. But you can certainly invest in cryptos and sell it, hold it, hodl, right? Or exchange it. And the beauty of purchasing Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies with the retirement funds are, I would say, twofold. Number one, same benefits like buying stocks or real estate. No gains, deferral. You do not pay tax on any of your gains. Okay, so if you buy Bitcoin at 40,000, you sell it at 60, $20,000 a gain, not subject to tax, right? Just like if you bought Tesla or real estate in an IRA or 401k, there is zero tax when you sell it. Okay, so that's the first advantage of using a retirement account is the deferral. Now, if you use a Roth IRA or Roth 401k, and so long as you can be patient and not take a taxable distribution until you're 59 and a half, and the Roth has been open at least 5 years, then it's all tax-free. So you can take all your growth, all your gains as a taxable distribution, tax-free. So to me, I'm 46 years old. I strongly believe in the future of the cryptocurrency market. And again, I could be 100% wrong, right? In 5 years, I may be sitting in front of you saying, oh my God, you believe that Bitcoin's worth $50 or $100? I could be right, could be wrong. But and I've said this repeatedly, it's just a risk-reward proposition. Just like I believe that the electric vehicle marketplace is going to expand astronomically. It's just the way I think it's going to happen. Within 20 or 30 years, we'll all be driving electric cars. States will mandate it. California already is. Other states will follow suit. And that's just something that we can expect. So I do believe in the future growth of cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, when there'll be more mainstream adoption. And I'm willing to take that bet. And in my estimation, as a tax lawyer, the best way to take that bet is in a retirement account. Why? Because of what I mentioned, the tax-free growth opportunity. It's the best legal tax shelter out there. Yes, the president, well, the House just passed the Build Back Better bill today. That's going to the Senate. There will be potentially a cap on retirement accounts at $10 million, but that won't start until 2029. And as we know, a lot can happen from now until 2029, right? 8 years, a lot can transpire. So there's no guarantee that we'll ever see the light of day. So I'll be happy if I have $10 million in my retirement account. And I do believe that cryptocurrency is, for me, at least personally, without giving any of you advice, because I'm just a tax lawyer, I'm not an investment advisor, I'm not providing any financial advice. I believe we're all smart enough to make our own decisions. We all can certainly make those decisions. But if you are going to take the risk and buy cryptos, I believe you should do it in a Roth IRA. You may be saying, well, that's great, Adam, but if I hit a home run, I can't take any of that money out till I'm 59 and a half, and the Roth's been open 5 years. And you're right. It's a forced saving, but a couple wrinkles. Whatever you contribute to a Roth, you can always take out. So if you put in $5,000, $6,000 a year for the next 15 years, you can always pull that money out. Now, I know that's not probably going to satisfy your appetite to take some of the growth, but look at it as a forced savings, because again, that's going to be there for your retirement account. I'm 46. I'm willing to take that risk and ultimately reap the benefits tax-free. To me, that's super important. And again, if you want to have some of your crypto invested in personal funds so you can pay capital gains tax and pull that money out whenever you want, go for it. But for me personally, I feel very comfortable owning cryptos in a Roth IRA. So I read something very interesting I wanted to share with you. I heard this on Twitter, so I think it's true. I haven't been able to verify it, but if you spend $3 a day for the last 6 years and bought Bitcoin instead of a cup of coffee or a cappuccino, you would have $230,000 today. Pretty cool, right? So that I wrote a book about that concept, right? And the idea is that the retirement system works, but there's three things that you need to accept. Number one is you have to start saving. Earlier the better. Number two, you got to be consistent. Every year, even if you can't max out, put a little bit in. And the third and the hardest thing to do is patience. You have to wait. In order to fully take advantage of the power of tax deferral, compounded returns, you got to be patient. You got to wait the 6, 10, 15, 20 years. There's no way to cheat around it. It's just the way it is. Yeah, you can try to hit a home run. It's happened. I've seen clients, I mentioned it, take 800 to 44 million. I've seen clients take 100 grand to 4 million. It happens, but you can't bank on that. The best way to do it is slow and steady. Save every year, be consistent, and make good, wise investments. If you can diversify and add crypto to your portfolio, I think that does make sense. That's what I've been doing, and I've done super well over the last 5 years. But again, it could drop. We've seen Bitcoin is at about 58 now, and this is being taped on November 19, 2021. Ethereum's at 4,200. So it's obviously been way off its highs of 68 or 69,000. But for me, that's fine. This is a long-term play. I give this example repeatedly before. Bitcoin 10 years ago was 30 or 40 bucks. Okay, look where it is now. Imagine where it'll be in 10 years. That's what I keep telling myself. I don't care what Bitcoin or Ethereum is priced at today. It doesn't bother me one iota. Why? I'm not selling it. I'm 46. I got 13 years. What excites me is where it will be in 13 years. Okay, that's what it's about. When you invest with your retirement funds, it should not be about today. It should be about your future. And to me, cryptocurrency is a smart bet on the future because it's not going away. And as more and more people adopt it and use it, and we see it, it's happening. The Bitcoin network is getting faster and stronger. Ethereum network is getting faster and stronger. There's all these different types of smart contract coins that are starting to be used. And there'll be a tipping point. I don't know when that will happen, if it will be in 2 years or 5 years, 10 years or 30 years, but we will see more adoption. We will see cryptos being used more in legal type contracts, more financial, diversified transactions, as well as countries holding it as a store of value. We see what happened in El Salvador. We see that Ukraine countries will start embracing it. Not China, right? And that's okay. China has banned pretty much everything we use: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Microsoft even walked out of China. So China's losing out. They're making a horrible mistake, and there's reasons for their decision, of course. The government wants control, but just because China isn't embracing it doesn't mean there's tons of growth for the rest of the world. And again, that's kind of my bet. So the only thing I wanted to share, a couple things: fees. Okay, and I'm going to be somewhat subjective now. And I've said this repeatedly. I do believe IRA Financial has the best crypto platform out there for retirement accounts. Why? This reason: we have flat fees flat annual fee. We do not charge asset valuation fees. I believe we're the only custodian that does not charge any percentage of the value of your crypto as a commission or as a holding fee. So you pay a flat fee, which is now $300 a year flat. No matter what your crypto value is, whether it's 20 grand, 100 grand, or $100 million, flat. We do not charge annual commissions to hold it. So if you bought Bitcoin today at $100,000 and in 5 years it's worth 4 million, you're still paying a flat fee to us. Okay. Other companies charge you 1%, 2%, 1.5%. We don't. When you use our Gemini platform, you're generally going to pay about 35 basis points on the buy, and that's it. No holding fee. And you can even take your cryptos and move it off the Gemini platform and hold it in a cold wallet. You also can earn Gemini Earn by lending out your cryptos, and all that interest would flow back to your retirement account without tax. So it's I think, a super impressive platform. I'm very proud of it. I worked hard. I worked many years to kind of get this to where it is. We're improving it. We're working on some really cool things with Gemini. But as of today, fees matter. And here's an example why fees matter. Okay, I'm going to give you this example just to show you every year, if you pay more than you should, it's going to eat into your returns. So if you assume a 7% return, which is quite low, obviously, but let's just assume a 7% rate of return, you're 45 years old, and you have 20 years left until you retire. And $20,000 is in your 401k. A 0.5% fee, you'll have about $70,500 in 20 years. Okay. If that fee goes up to 1.5%, so an increase of 1%, you're only going to have $58,000. So you lost $12,500 by paying too much in fees. So imagine, instead of getting a 7% rate of return, you're getting a 10, 15, 30% rate of return. And you're, instead of paying 0% fees, you're paying 1%. You're going to lose 30% plus of value in your retirement account for no reason, just because you are making the wrong choice. You do not need to pay annual valuation fees to hold your cryptos on a platform. Please wake up if you're doing so. You can roll them into our platform tax-free. You do not need to do that. And I'm not just saying that because obviously I want your business, which I do. I'm saying that because fees will raid your retirement account of value. Okay. It's not just a one-time thing, right? If you're holding cryptos for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, that extra 1% will eat into your profits. And that 1% will be there even when you lose. So we're going to have years in the crypto marketplace where we're going to lose money, right? There'll be bad years. The stock market has bad years. Crypto market will have bad years. So let's say your value is at 100,000, goes up to 180, and now maybe goes down to 90 one year. You're still paying that 1 or 1.5% fee on the value each year. So it's literally stealing money from your retirement account, raiding your retirement account for no reason. It's not like this provider that's charging you the 1% or 1.5% holding fee is doing anything, right? The cryptos are being held on an exchange, right? You're working, you're doing your thing. That crypto is still there, right? That digital asset is still there, but you're still paying that 1 or 1.5% for no reason. Don't have to do it, okay? So we've had enormous success with our platform, but honestly, I give myself a B-, C+. Should have 1 million more people. It is the best solution. And I've said this at the Bitcoin conference in June in Miami when I spoke. Every American should have exposure to Bitcoin. If you don't want cryptocurrency, that's fine. Every American should have some money in Bitcoin. It's negligence if you don't. And I'm not saying $1 million. I'm not saying $10,000. I'm saying exposure. And the exposure is obviously a derivative of your net worth. If you have a net worth of $20,000, then clearly you can't have a lot of exposure to Bitcoin. You probably shouldn't. Maybe you should have $100 or a 1% exposure, whatever your comfort level is. But if you have a few $100,000 in net worth or $1 million in net worth, yeah, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing a disservice to your retirement planning to have zero exposure to cryptos. And again, just a risk reward. If crypto turns out to be something that will be transformative from a financial transactional standpoint, which I do believe will occur, then you'll never make it up. You lost it, right? It's like getting into, Facebook now. versus 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, right? It's going to be hard to make up that growth. Whereas if you take a risk and you put 1% or 0.5% of your net worth into it, and it doesn't materialize, it stays as flat or just goes nowhere. Okay, you lost 1. But again, that risk of that loss to me outweighs, well, I would say the reward on that small risk outweighs the risk. And it's not even a close call. And if you do it in a retirement account, you have the high ceiling of no tax, right? So you have, I think the floor is pretty low. Yeah, Bitcoin could go to zero, but I think the likelihood of that is pretty remote. There'll always be some demand for it. Countries are adopting it. There's billions and billions of dollars every day going into it. So I do think there is a floor. I don't think the floor is as low as it used to be. It's still a floor. The ceiling is way higher than almost any asset class today. It's definitely volatile. Look, it's dropped 5, 6% in the last few days. But for a retirement account, who cares, right? You're not looking to sell it today. You're not looking to take that money to pay your mortgage. That's for the future. That's for you. That's for your spouse. That's for your kids. So I think it just really meshes well with retirement accounts. And I'm super happy. I started buying Bitcoin 5, 6 years ago. Obviously, I wish I bought more. And what I do with my kids every day is we put $5 into Bitcoin every day. That's what we do. We kind of talk about, and we watch the growth. We do pick some other alts as well, but that's something I do every day with my kids. We put $5 Gemini into Bitcoin every day. And again, the whole idea is showing them the value of time value of money. And I do it in my retirement account so they see it. My kids don't have a retirement account. They're only 11 and 8. So we do it in personal accounts for them. But in 6 years, the goal is, hey, they may have a few $100,000 in their account for just putting in a few dollars a day. So I would recommend people doing that. It's literally couch money, right? $3, $4 a day. What I do is every month, I just transfer in about $100, $150, and every day I show my kids we just buy $5, and it's fun. It's actually a really good bonding thing with kids. Teaches them the idea of saving. That I've told them you can't touch that money. The only reason you're going to touch that money is to buy a home or do something meaningful in your life. So it's actually a lot of fun. So I would recommend people doing it. Other than that, don't worry about volatility. If you have a retirement account, who cares? This is opportunities to buy. You don't even need to look at the value of Bitcoin. Look at it every week, every month. Who cares, right? You don't need to worry about this stuff for the next 5, 10, 15 years. Just enjoy the trip. I think the ride and I think the journey will be very, very rewarding. So let me get to a few questions here. Again, please don't hesitate to ask any questions. I'm happy to answer them. I've written the first book on how to use retirement funds to buy Bitcoin all the way. And I started writing in 16, but I published in 18. It's on Amazon. If you're interested, you can just ask me any questions. Also, I do these Adam Lies every week. I had to push this to Wednesday because I was doing some traveling the last few days. But this is something, if you subscribe to our channel, which I definitely encourage you to do that, you'll get notified whenever I go live, and then you can jump in and ask some questions and have some fun. How can I buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, in a Roth 401k? Super easy. Go on our app, open an account. It's a flat fee. It's like $300. You actually get $50 cash back. We're doing this really cool cash back program, by the way. And that cash back program, here's a sneak preview, whoever is watching. We're going to be giving away IRA coins. So we are creating our own cryptocurrency. It won't be tradable at first, but it's be called IRA, like IRA Financial, and it will be Ethereum based. So when you open an account with us, you're going to get a free $50 coin that will be Ethereum based. So hopefully, as Ethereum goes up, that $50 will be worth more, and that's going to go into your retirement account. So that will also be tax free. So if you want to buy Bitcoin, anything that Gemini offers, it's almost 100 coins or so, just open an account, roll some money into the account from your 401k. You can open the 401k, so it's inner plan. You don't need to do an IRA rollover or a rollover to a new plan. And the Gemini account will get linked, and then you just go on your phone and buy Bitcoin or cryptos on the Gemini platform through your 401k, and we'll take care of the reporting. So super easy. I have a bit of a complicated question. 4 of us are clients of IRA Financial. Well, good, thank you. We would like to combine our funds and invest in a Reg D. No problem. So I would set up an LLC. Just set up a NewCo LLC, call it ABC LLC, whatever you want. Have those 4 IRA LLCs invest in this NewCo LLC, and the ownership will be pro rata. So if everyone's putting in $25, it'll be 25% each. But it doesn't matter what the percentages are. It's just going to be based on the amount invested, Mr. Patel. And then at that point, that LLC will invest into the private placement, and all profits and losses will be allocated pro rata. Just remember, you're going to have to file a 1065 partnership as well as a state partnership return. No tax will be due, but there would be a tax return requirement because of there's more than one member partnership. Next question. Unfortunately, the LP wants the funds to come from only one entity. Yeah, like I said, Mr. Patel, set up one LLC, have those LLCs fund that LLC. It's kind of like a fund of funds, pretty simple structure, right? You got 4 entities up here. You set up the entity down here. The 4 LLCs come in, and that underlying entity invests in the fund, and then all the profits and losses gets allocated pro rata. Super easy. If you have further questions, let us know. By the way, we have an amazing customer service team. We want you to call us, okay? You can call us. If you're a client of ours, we offer a great compliance service. It's not like you got to chat us, you got to set up appointments. Pick up the phone, call us. We want to hear from you. That's something I believe that really differentiates IRA Financial. We have resources. We want to help. We understand that this is your retirement accounts. There are very specific IRA 401k rules, i.e. prohibited transactions, unrelated business taxable income, and we want you to get it right. So if you are a client of IRA Financial, we'd love to hear from you. Don't feel like you got to do your own Google research or kind of guess. Call us, email us. We're here to help, okay? And I think there are value of being an IRA Financial client, and that's something for me. When I started this company 11 years ago, what I did when I looked at the marketplace. So just a quick story, just off record, off track, I guess. Whoever doesn't know that, I was a tax lawyer in New York, and how I kind of found this industry. I had no idea, by the way, that this industry existed. So I have a master's in tax law. I was a tax lawyer for 9 years. I worked on some really cool stuff, hedge fund, private equity fund formation, big M&A deals, did some really cool stuff. And I had no idea that you can take your retirement funds and buy real estate or buy alternative assets. I had no idea. I thought you had to buy stocks with an IRA 401k. So actually, I had a client who was a really big time hedge fund client, monster. And I became friendly with him, really good guy. And he would just call me with stuff that he wanted me to look at. So he called me up one day and he's like, Adam, I have a chance to invest in one of our funds. I want to use my IRA. I was like, can't do that. He's like, what do you mean? I was told you can do it. I was like, really? Okay, let me research. And this whole world just, bang, opened up to me. I was just blown away. I was like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. So that was the beginning of IRA Financial. And within 6 months, I left my job and started IRA Financial. And one of the premises of IRA Financial was customer service. Because what I did, I called around a bunch of companies when I started this, and I would ask questions. And first of all, the fees were crazy, right? They wanted like $3,000 to set up a self-directed IRA. So it's like, are you kidding me? That's just ridiculous. Number two, no one knew what the hell they were talking about. And they tried to BS me. I was like, listen, you don't know what you're saying. I'm a lawyer. I'm reading the code. Like, you're just making this stuff up. And they would just double talk and say, you have to talk to your own attorney. It's like, well, I am an attorney. You don't know what you're saying. So what I wanted to do is bring all this together into one company where there's great technology, very fair, reasonable pricing, which I think we've done, and customer service. We don't want people to be left hanging, left on their own. We're here to help. Okay, we actually sent an email out a couple of days ago to all our clients, all 30,000 clients, basically saying, don't forget us. A lot of times I speak to clients and they're like, God, Adam, I should have called you. I did this deal and now there's UBTI and I got to pay 37%. And I'm always like, yeah, just call us. We unfortunately can't jump into your brain and figure out what you're investing in. If you don't talk to us, we can't help you. So don't be shy. I've said this repeatedly, and I'll say it again. One of the first things they teach you in law school is this: there are no bad questions. Okay, so you may be saying, "Oh man, this guy Adam, maybe he's going to think I'm an idiot. This is a really dumb question." No, I'm never going to think that. Probably your dumb question is probably a brilliant question. Okay, so don't be shy. And if you don't want to call us, great. Email us. You could send us messages on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We will get back to you. You can email us at info@IRA Financial, and you can email, just put in the subject, ask Adam or for Adam. It will get to me. I may not get it that day, but within a few days, I will respond to you. I promise. Okay, let's go back to some questions. What's the safest way to buy cryptos in a 401k? I think the Gemini platform. Why? Because you have the security of Gemini. They're insured. A lot of these other companies in the IRA space, and I'm not going to mention names, they're not regulated. Okay, they are basically just a consulting firm that's charging you commissions for no reason, right? Because you can just go on Gemini and through us and buy it yourself. So these companies are actually worried, rightfully so. That's why if you live in New York, they won't service you, because they know the Attorney General is starting, at least the New York Attorney General, is starting to get really aggressive on gold and ultimately on cryptocurrency, because it's regulated by the commodity agency, since Bitcoin's treated as a commodity like gold, and they're scared of getting sued. So they basically told all their New York clients, bye-bye, we can't service you anymore. Why? Because they're not regulated. They're just charging you commissions for no reason, which, good for them, right? It's business. And they've been successful, a number of companies in this way, and, God bless them. But you don't need to do it if you don't want to. So the best way, again, and if you know me, a lot of you probably spoke to me. I'm pretty humble guy. I'm never going to say, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, but I do believe that the IRA Financial Gemini platform is the best, straight up the best, because you can literally buy Gemini cryptocurrency held coins on your phone. You have total control 24/7. You can earn on the coins. You can pull it off the platform into a cold wallet, and you pay us a flat fee. No commission fee to IRA Financial. No asset valuation fee to IRA Financial. You saw the example of fees. Fees matter. That 1% you're paying for no reason, that will rob your retirement account of value. So again, I do believe, do it through IRA Financial. Trust me, if I didn't think we'd have the best platform, I would not be saying this. It's not me. We're super successful. Don't want to ruin my reputation by lying to people. But I do believe, and I'm going to put my flag in the ground and salute the fact that I do believe we have the best platform out there. Why does IRA Financial frown on buying a Bitcoin crypto mining through a self-directed IRA? We don't frown on it at all. Okay. In fact, I have a lot of friends that do it. My only item to say is it could trigger UBIT. UBIT is unrelated business taxable income. If you look at 2014-21, it says that if your mining activity rises to the level of business, it's a business and it generates or triggers UBIT. So the question is, will your activity rise to a business? And that's a fact and circumstances scenario. I don't know. All I'm saying is, if you don't want to get into that discussion of whether your activity rises to a business and would be subject to the UBTI tax, then you may not want to mine. But no way will we frown on mining. I love mining. Again, I have a bunch of friends that use their IRA to mine, and we chat about their activities all the time. So I love mining. I just don't really engage in it. I actually invest in a mining company, but I actually don't do it myself. I may do it at some point. My nephew does. He mines Bitcoin. My sister is not thrilled with the electrical cost, but he's 14 years old. He's super into Bitcoin. So I do not frown on mining, Mark. I love it. Can I invest in Bitcoin myself, directed Roth? Yeah, lucky duck, for sure. Just go in the IRA Financial app or on our website, set up an account, roll the money in tax-free. We'll connect the Gemini account. Bang, you're in business. Buy cryptos on your phone. It's all tax free when you sell it. Do you provide financial planning? No, we are not a financial advisory firm. We are a financial technology company which facilitates investments into alternative assets like real estate or crypto. So no, we do not do financial planning. If you want financial planners in your area, you can send us an email, and we do have partners that we work with. I'd be happy to share that information. Volatile because it's real free market. Yeah, Chris, fair point. Volatile is good and bad, right? If you're trading cryptos, you love volatility. I have a friend that's a crypto trader, and why he's trading cryptos and not startup stocks is because there's more volatility. So if you're a retirement investor, long-term, the volatility shouldn't bother you. Clearly, if you're looking for a steady stream of income, you're retired in your 70s, and you're going to live off the Bitcoin income, it's probably not the best asset class for you because it isn't steady. So I'd probably not suggest you put all your money in Bitcoin if you need the money to live off. But for long-term investments as a reward versus risk proposition, I'm in. Ron, is there a video that explains the entire process investing in IRA Financial app utilize? Yeah, absolutely, Ron. It's on YouTube. We're working on a more in-depth video for Gemini, but if you let us know, I can have someone call you, Ron, and they can literally go step by step. Or again, I'm happy to do it too. So you can always, email me, and I'm happy to set up a chat with you, and I will literally go step by step. It's my pleasure. And moving Bitcoin from one wallet to another wallet, both of which you own, a taxable event. Not if it's in an IRA, Chris, you can do it. And again, not if it's in a personal to personal. It's just a transfer. You're not actually exchanging the Bitcoin. But if you exchange Bitcoin for Ethereum, that is a taxable event. Not in an IRA, but it would be in a personal account. So if you move your Bitcoin in your IRA from Gemini to a cold wallet and then move it to cold wallet B, that's cool. That's still aligned with your IRA. It's just holding it differently. There's no physical possession requirement for cryptos. Unlike gold, bullion, gold, and coins must be held in the physical possession of a trustee/depository. There are no physical possession requirements for crypto. So again, the way we have it through Gemini, your cold wallet is linked to your IRA account. So you shouldn't move your cold wallet crypto to a wallet you control personally. That could trigger a prohibited transaction. But if you move the money or the crypto, the digital asset from Gemini to a cold wallet that's connected, then there is no IRS violation, based off the current tax code. Can the Fed shut down Gemini? It's regulated. New York, it has money transmitter license in any state. I assume it will go public very soon. So I don't think the Feds could shut it down. If there's fraud, I guess the Feds can shut down Facebook. I guess they can shut down any potential, any company, right? Whoever watches Succession, which is a great show, right? The Department of Justice is looking at Logan Roy and Waystar. So I guess the Feds can potentially shut down a company if they find criminal activity, but they are regulated. And you're going directly through Gemini, right? That's the nice thing with IRA Financial. There's no middleman. We're not a middleman. We're just a facilitator of the process. We do not charge a asset valuation fee. We charge a fee flat to administer the IRA or 401k. That's it. Why? Because that's what we do. That's how we survive. We take flat fees to administer and custody your IRA or 401k. We do not charge fees to trade cryptos. Why? Because we're not regulated to do so. Gemini regulated to do so. However, what's happened in our industry is that there's companies out there that are not regulated that have inserted themselves in the middle of you and the exchange and are charging high commissions for no reason. And they're getting worried for good reason, because your attorney general is starting to pay attention, and the fact is you are obviously losing money from the fees. No, we're not registered with the SEC. We don't provide financial advice, so we don't have to be. IRA Financial Trust is a trust company that's regulated by the South Dakota Department of Banking, just like Wells Fargo or most of the other IRA trust companies. So we are regulated, but not by the SEC, because we don't sell securities and we do not give investment advice. You mentioned that you use Gemini for exchange. I live in the US, but use Qcoin mostly for trading. Can I use Qcoin with IRA Roth with LLC. Yeah, if you have the LLC, you'd be able to link to KuCoin. So that will work, no problem. The LLC, you would just have to open a KuCoin account in the name of the LLC, and the accounts will get linked. And then the IRA funds will go from the LLC to KuCoin, and then you could use it that way. Best great customer service in the space. So thank you, Chris. You're awesome. Thanks for the kind words. I have to agree with Chris. I already sent like 10 people. God, Mr. Patel, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Tax and capital gains. Grace, no. When you use an IRA or 401k to make investments, whether it's stock, whether it's real estate, whether it's cryptos, there is no tax or capital gains. So there's two types of tax you can pay when you sell a capital asset. If you hold it less than 12 months, that's called ordinary income because it's short-term capital gains. If you hold a capital asset like stocks or cryptos or real estate personally, not in an IRA, personally, greater than 12 months, that's subject to long-term capital gains, and that's subject to a lower tax rate, which is 15 or 20%. If you have 20, if you have a higher income tax bracket, plus a 3.8% Obama surcharge. So generally, 18.8 or 23.8%, which is lower than the ordinary income tax bracket. Now, just to be clear, if you hold cryptos personally, tax will apply. If you hold it in an IRA or 401k, no, zero, zip, zilch, no tax on your gains. Okay, the only time you will pay tax, Grace, is if you take a distribution. If you take the cryptos or the cash out of your IRA or 401k as a taxable distribution. If it's before age of 59 and a half, it's subject to tax and a 10% penalty. If you're over the age of 59 and a half, it's subject to tax. If you have a Roth IRA or Roth 401k, then it is not subject to tax so long as you have the Roth account opened at least 5 years, remember 5, and plus 59 and a half, and you're over the age of 59 and a half, then you will pay zero tax. That's my plan. Okay, that's my goal. I'm 46, I got 13 years, 14 years, and hopefully my crypto asset values will soar. I expect them. Last week I actually had a beard last week, and I just got tired of it. My wife wasn't looking at me anymore, so I had to shave it because I was getting tired sleeping on the couch with my dogs. And but I made a bet with someone at the Bitcoin conference in June. I thought Bitcoin would be at 75,000 November 5th. It's now, as I mentioned, 58. It was at 69. I was getting really close. I think it's going to hit 75 in the next month to 2 months. I do. I've been buying. I just bought another Bitcoin a few days ago. As I mentioned, I'm buying with my kids every day. I think this is an amazing opportunity. Ethereum's only at 4,200. It should be at 10,000. I'm a big Polygon Matic fan because we're actually using Matic for our IRA coin. So I have a lot of Polygon. It's only at 162 or something now. So I think it was at 250, the high about 8 months ago. To me, that's a $5-6 coin minimum. And if you research Polygon Matic, there's some great technology behind it. Basically uses off-blockchain technology. So it makes the Ethereum network way cheaper if you're doing lots of smart contracts, which is what we're doing. So I'm just a big believer in Polygon and Ethereum. So there's some really cool stuff out there. I have great conversations with clients like yourselves about new coins, new technology to check out. So it's a lot of fun as well. I just think the crypto community, such a positive vibe, right? There's so much uplifting sentiment. It's really communal. People really are happy for each other. When people do well and they have a coin, even if they don't own it, there's just a sense of joy, right? People are like happy for you. Just love the people in the crypto community. There'll be more adoption, and eventually we're gonna have to let in more and more people. So it's maybe not as cool as we are, but hey, if you are watching this right now and are either have retirement funds in crypto or thinking about it, you're at the top, right there. You're probably at the top 5% threshold because there's 95% of people that don't have cryptos in a retirement account. And that includes your neighbors, probably your friends, your cousins, your parents, aunts, uncles. It's sad, right? I talk to my neighbors, and I have literally 3 lawyers and a doctor, like my 4 neighbors where I live. So I have some smart friends. None of them own cryptos in a retirement account. They keep saying, yeah, I'm going to do it. They haven't done it with me yet. And I was like, listen, guys, I will give you a free account. Just do it. What are you doing? I'm telling you, in 10 years, you will have a monster amount of money. Like, it's so obvious what's happening. It like kills me. That's why I keep telling my team, we have thousands of clients at Gemini. We should have 1 million. I should be sending 1 million accounts to Gemini. And I'm not. So that's why I give myself a C+, B-, because I need to do better. I should have 25,000 people watching this today. I don't. That's my bad. I got to do a better job. Because as a tax lawyer and someone who's seen what cryptocurrency can do, because I've used it. I'm using it. I'm using Polygon for my business. It's the future. It's happening. Okay? And it's just a matter of time. We're going to all wake up one day and be like, oh my God, like it's here. And at that point, who knows where Bitcoin will be. But even if you think I'm full of crap and this is all rubbish, okay, it's still worth the risk. That's what I keep telling my neighbors. Oh, I don't understand. My sister, who started to get into Bitcoin because of her son, but she's brilliant. She has an MBA from Wharton. She's a banker. She's like, I don't understand Bitcoin, cryptos. I can't do an analysis of it. Like if you analyze Facebook or Tesla, you can see their earnings, you can see their profit to equity, you can look at their EBITDA, you can see quarterly growth. That makes sense to her. She's like, there's no fundamentals, there's no financial characteristics here. I don't know anything. It's just supply and demand. I don't feel comfortable, I'm not buying. I told her, I was like, you got to forget about that. This is the future. It's happening. And she's starting to understand and say, okay, you're right. I probably don't understand it. I still need exposure. Because I keep telling her, listen, put some money in it. You'll worry about understanding it later. Get in. Because if you miss this opportunity, you may never get it again. And we all know, right? There's probably some real estate investors on the YouTube watching this right now. You make money from buying, not selling, right? Even my kid understands. If you buy a house at $200,000 and now it's worth $3 million versus someone who bought it at $2.8 million, who's making the money? So you make money on the buy, not on the sell. Any idiot can sell something. It's hard to buy it at the right point. So we're at the point now where we're going to get to a sense where Bitcoin will be at a point where it doesn't look so cheap. Whether that's 100, 200,000, we're not there yet. So it's a great opportunity. And I just wish more people did it. Again, I don't make money if people buy Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm going to get an account fee, but it's small money. It's not like I'm charging people $10,000, right? I'm getting no asset valuation fees, no commissions. Gemini's making the money. But wouldn't it be great in like 10 or 15 years if we all get together, have some wine, just be like, God, remember 2021 talking about Bitcoin was 60,000 or 58, and now it's at 1 million or 500,000. And our neighbors were just not willing to see it. And we did. And now we can reap the rewards and the benefits. So it's happening. I see where Bitcoin, how much money I've made in the last 5 years. And my wife and I would laugh because it's like, it doesn't look real, but it's real. Trust me, it's real. Like my wife is like, do you think we can really get that money out? I was like, yeah, it's our money. It's happening right now. It's a revolution. It's happening. We're in it. There's lots of smart people are still on the sidelines, unfortunately. And it's our job to get more people involved, not because we want to push the price up, but if we love the people or the person, I feel like it's my obligation to at least get them focused on the ability to really grow their retirement account. So that's it. Nothing pains me more where it's just like I see the path, right? It's like I see the end game. I see the light. I know where it's going. I know it. I've known it for 5-6 years. And I just can't convince people. Sorry. I wish I could do a better job. That's why I give myself a C+. But anything you guys can do to your family, friends, like do it. I've tried. It's frustrating, but people are still unsure. And they just aren't believers. And I've said it, and it's super frustrating because people will buy all these companies, but they don't even understand what they do. But they'll buy it because there's some financial fundamentals. There's financial audited statements. They see numbers. But they won't invest in the future with cryptocurrency, even though I've talked to them about the future and what it will do. And we've seen it just in the last 6-7 years, how much has changed. Imagine what will happen in the next 6 or 7 years. So again, I don't care. I mean, if people don't do it, they don't do it. It'd be nice to get more great people into our community that really want to make a difference. And the money will be real. Trust me, it's going to make a difference. So there you go. I'm in here with my real name. Way happy. Thank Grace. Bitcoin is the best app that you can own. My humble opinion. Yeah, listen, I own a lot. I have real estate. I own stocks. I would not tell people put all your money in Bitcoin. That's not me. Diversify. I'm all about diversification. I believe inflation's real. I was traveling yesterday. I was in New York last week. I mentioned this. I took an Uber from Tribeca to Madison Square Garden. 3 miles is $48. The prices are astronomical. I got a coffee and a muffin. It was like $9. Okay, it's out of control what's going on. Inflation's real. You fill up for your car lately for gas. I mean, it's almost $4. It's crazy. So it's real. It's happening. I don't know if Bitcoin will be the right hedge. So that's why I have money in real estate, stocks, and I do have a lot in cryptos because, again, it's just a risk reward thing. If I don't think Bitcoin will go to zero, the floor has risen in the last 6-7 years. Will it stay maybe at 30, 40, 50,000 and never go up? It could. And that's fine. I don't have all my money in it, but the reward, the chance that it goes to 300 or 500,000 to me is well worth the risk. I got in when I was 1,000. Grace, you were the best. Why didn't you tell me? I got in at like 4,000, 3,000 or 4,000. So Grace, you should have told me. Maureen, I'm retired California educator with 2 403s. My husband is self-employed, sole proprietor, retiring next month. Can we convert a self-directed IRA and buy crypto without having a W-2 income or LLC? Yeah, you already have. So this is the way it works. If you're self-employed, your husband should have had a solo 401k. If he doesn't, he can set one up. But if he's retired and he has other retirement funds, he can set up an IRA and roll those funds tax-free into an IRA and then buy cryptos. For you, Maureen, when you retire, you can roll your 403b tax-free into an IRA. And then from that IRA, you can buy cryptos through our Gemini platform tax-free. So the rollover from the 403b to the self-directed IRA will be tax-free. And then you can buy cryptos. And then all your future gains in the crypto world will be tax-free. So you're in a great position, but you're going to have to retire. You're not going to have the ability to move the funds out of the 403b until you retire. You need what's called a triggering event. So just something to keep in mind, although your husband's self-employed. So hopefully he has a solo 401k. If he doesn't, it may be too late if he's retiring, but hopefully he has some retirement funds. Oh, you did mention you're retired. So your 403b, you should be good to go, Maureen, and roll those funds out. Grace, I've told so many people, they've looked at me like I'm crazy, and then there are the few that have tried and made money. I know. Grace, you'll have the last laugh. You know, I've been telling people about self-directed IRAs for the last 10 years. And especially cryptos. Sometimes people are people. There's just, there's just so much you can do. Just the bottom line. There's only so much you can do. It's frustrating. And I've talked with loved ones, people I love. My best friend in the world, I've talked to him for 5-6 years. I'm like, dude, please just put a little money in. I'm telling you. He has zero. And he's my best friend in the world. And he's like, oh, man, it's such a pain. Like, how do I do it? It's like, I will set up the account for you for free, okay? And I will help you do it. My team will literally put the money in the account, and I will come to your house, and we will just hit buy. It's so freaking easy. He hasn't done it yet. And now he's kicking himself because I told him to get in at 5,000, 8,000, 13,000, 15,000. It's like, you can tell people to drink. You just can't bring people to the fountain. At some point, God will only help those that help themselves. And what can you do? What else? I do love Bitcoin. I already made a lot of money with it. Just holding. Me too. I've made tons of money just holding. And I'm going to continue to hold for the next 13 to 14 years. And I'm going to continue to buy every day with my kids. And I strongly encourage people to do that. Even if you don't buy Bitcoin, do it with stocks. It's a great way to show your kids the importance of saving, the importance of time value of money, the importance of investing. and then they get to understand the stock they're buying or the crypto they're buying. So I've done it with both, but now we're doing Bitcoin. We've done a lot of Polygon. We've done Ethereum. My kids have picked Chainlink. We've done, I haven't done XRP. They want to do XRP. I haven't done that yet. My kids are into Uniswap. So there's some stuff that we're also looking at. It's a great way to do research with your kid. I'm telling you, it's a great bonding experience. Because every morning we wake up before school, we buy it, we look at the price, we talk about it. And then we don't talk about what we're going to do with the money. My kids just talk about how much they're going to have. Because I've told them, again, you can't touch it until you're older, and we're going to use it for something significant like buying a home. This is going to be real money. We're not going to use it to waste on baseball card or a vacation. Like, this is going to be real money to use to buy a real asset like a home. So I'm super excited. A lot of fun. We're having a great time with it. And I was traveling the last few days, and they woke me up every morning and said, "Dad, guess what the price of Bitcoin is? I'm buying $5 again with Mom." And nothing makes me happier. Maureen, we've had a crypto for a long time, but want a better tech strategy for the capital gains. We specifically want to buy more. Okay. Yeah. Listen, Maureen, you can buy whatever you want. If you're doing it with personal funds, hold it. If you hold it 12 months or more, you're getting capital gains. Capital gains is the best you're going to do. Okay. It's still very low. The Build Back Better bill did not have an increase for capital gains. So it's still at the 15 or 20%, which is pretty much historically low. So that's the best you can do. I would not, obviously in a retirement account, the Roth IRA is ultimate, but if you own those coins in a personal account, you're not going to be able to get them to an IRA. So for you, Maureen, the best thing is just hold it at least 12 months. That's really the best thing you can do. Once you're over the 12 months, pay your capital gains. It's not the end of the world, right? 15 or 20%. I mean, the government's got to take something. So it's not horrible. Okay, Adam, if I have pre-tax 401k being rolled over, the gains will be taxable, right? Well, the gains will only be taxable. No, the gains are never taxable in a retirement account. The distributions are taxable. It's a big difference. So, Rafi, if you buy 50,000 of Bitcoin and sell it at 100,000, there's no tax. It's in the IRA. Only when you take a distribution of that IRA and put in your pocket is that subject to tax. Okay, so that's the difference. A lot of people don't understand. That is the power of deferral. Deferral means your money grows faster without tax. Albert Einstein, eighth wonder of the world, compounding returns. Your money doubles every 8 years if it could average 8% a year. So if you can keep that money rolling, you can buy or sell, you can trade as many times as you want. There's no tax, no capital gains, no ordinary income. Why? It's in an IRA. That is the benefit of using an IRA to trade. Only when you pull the money out of the IRA and put it in your pocket do you pay tax. Now, if you had a Roth, so long as you're over 59 and a half and the Roth's been open at least 5 years, no tax. So that's the difference. No tax when you trade, only a tax on the distribution. Ron, sorry if you answered this. Can an account be set up for children to trade crypto? Yeah, you could. You just need an IRA. So Ron, your kids have to have some retirement accounts, meaning they have to have some income. Your 11, 13, 15, and 17-year-old, they need to have some income. So they could be a lifeguard, they could be a counselor, a tutor. They need some 1099 income or W-2. You can't pay them to take out the garbage. It generally should be from a third party. So if they tutor, as I mentioned, or they're a counselor, or sell stuff on eBay, sell baseball cards on eBay or whatever, and they have income, yeah, we can set up an IRA. There would be an adult on the account, which would be you, but the account would be in their name. So I've done it with my kids, my eldest at least, because he did some modeling for us back in the day. He doesn't have a lot in their IRA, but he's got a little bit. My younger one, I've got to wait. He's only 8, so it's hard to. He comes home, he just plays video games, so I can't really pay him to do anything. After setting up an auto deposit with Swan, we'll be able to transfer your platform after an open. Yeah. By the way, Swan, we just started a partnership with them. They're a great company. They only focus on Bitcoin. So if you're a beginner and just want to buy Bitcoin, Swan is a great platform, great customer service, very low fees. And we have an integration with them. So we'll admin your IRA with them, and then you can use the Swan app or the website to buy Bitcoin. That's all they do with Bitcoin. They specialize in Bitcoin, and they're really great for investors that just want to keep things simple. So thanks for mentioning that, Mike. Yeah, you can certainly move the money from us to Swan anytime you want. Okay, Maureen, you're retired. God bless you. Good. Can I utilize my crypto through Gemini and Songbird and Flare network? I want to have passive income. I'm not familiar on Songbird or the Flare network, so sorry. But once it's on Gemini, you can move it to a DeFi like Uniswap or SushiSwap. You can move it to a cold wallet, as I mentioned. But I'm not familiar with Songbird or Flare. Contribution limit for kids is $6,000 in an IRA or Roth, but they need income. They need at least $6,000 to max out. They can't piggyback off you, unfortunately. Spouses can piggyback off each other. So if one spouse has income and the other doesn't, you can piggyback off each other, but kids can't. I wish they did. I've actually spoke to a number of congressmen on the Ways and Means Committee. I've proposed that instead of giving a child credit, the government puts money into an IRA for kids where the parents manage, and then those IRAs can grow. To me, that's a lot more beneficial than the credit. Obviously, the credit is cheaper because it's just reduces tax. It's not actually a cash outlay. But even if it was for low-income people, like maybe they had a threshold where if you have adjusted gross income under, let's say, $100,000, instead of giving you a credit because the credit doesn't have as much value, the government actually gives money to that family for their kids in an IRA that can't be used until they're 18, and then those IRAs can be invested, the funds at least, in stocks or whatever, cryptos hopefully. And again, I believe it's a great way to bridge the wealth gap. These families and lower income families would hopefully, that money would grow for 18 years. And then when the kids are 18, even if it's $2 or $3 grand a year, that could be worth $100 grand or so, allowing that family to maybe at least a kid to pay for college, potentially buy a home. It starts allowing those families to move up this wealth ladder, and I think could help bridge the wealth gap. And because you start when the kid is first born till they're 18, you have 18 years to take advantage of deferral and compounded returns, which to me is really the most exciting part. But unfortunately, a lot of Americans, like the downside of, I think, not the downside, I think one of the things that we're struggling with as Americans is patience, right? We all want to consume. We want instant gratification. And unfortunately, we've seen it even with the legislative process, right? A lot of the Democrats, and Republicans too, when they get in power, like they want things done immediately. Like, let's change everything now. And I think the beauty of our presidential constitution, our democratic system, is negotiations. Things change, but should be done gradually. Okay, and I think there's a health factor there. You want things to be done gradually, and same with investments, same with wealth. It takes time to build. It just does. Okay, if you look at all the wealthy families, I look friends and the like, colleagues, clients, it takes time. Clients don't just start with $1 and go to $1 million in a day. The clients that have a lot of money with me are in their 50s and 60s, and they've been saving for 30 years, 25 years. They've made good investments, but it's not overnight. It takes time. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to teach my kids. And cryptos is, to me, a great, great asset for that, because we're at such a primitive stage. I mean, we'll look in the next 10 years and laugh and be like, oh my God, remember 2021 where cryptos were and what we were doing and thinking about cryptos? And now look at NFTs and look at smart contracts and look at the way the financial system works. And remember we used to wire money? Like, that's all gone. We just use cryptocurrency to move money around. So there's going to be a lot of cool stuff in the next 10 years, and cryptocurrency will be in the forefront. So that's where I'm putting my money. I'm going to do a couple more questions. Can an ETF be set up with IRA Financial? So we are working on a platform with Fidelity that we're hoping to launch first quarter next year, where we will be offering Fidelity ETFs and then stocks and then crypto ETFs, actually. Yes, we're doing something with Gemini. We'll be offering crypto ETFs in the next 6 months. So that will be super exciting. Adam, once a coin is bought at Gemini, can we trade the coins off? Yeah, Rafi. Yes, you can take the cryptos off the you just have to go in our app, go under additional documents, just check a box that you give us the ability to unlock that, and then we will unlock your account and allow you to move the cryptos to a cold wallet that you control. Absolutely. And then you can use a DeFi like Uniswap or SushiSwap to swap those coins, or you could just hold them in a cold wallet for cold storage. But remember, you can't do a primitive transaction, right? You can't just take those coins and buy yourself a car. Those coins are held in the cold wallet, linked to your IRA account just as a source of security to pull it off the exchange so you have greater protection. So I've come up on the 1 o'clock hour, at least it's been an hour. Wow, a lot of fun. Cryptos are so much fun. If you guys have questions, comments, let me know. You can email me to info@IRA Financial, and happy to set up a call. I have time for everyone. Okay, no one's too important or not important. Okay, so I spend most of my day writing, doing videos, podcasts, and talking to clients. So that's what I love to do. I have 83 employees that help run this business, and great, amazing team of people, super smart and well-trained. We spend a lot of time on training. But if you need me, I'm here for you guys. Okay. We have 30,000 clients. I said we should have 1 million clients. And even as we grow and get to 100,000 and 200,000, I'll have time for everyone. I will make the time, I promise, because this is my passion. This is what I love to do. I would do this for no money, and I will. Ultimately, I'm working on setting up a 501c3 to help educate young people about the power of the retirement system, right? The power of deferral. And my book is 7 Figures at 70. And it's a great book, actually. And I'm proud of it because it's a great way to teach young people about the 3 principles of starting, being consistent, and trusting the process, right? You got to trust the process. Without patience, you can't have wealth. But it works. I know it. I've seen it for me. I've seen it with my parents. I've seen it with my clients. I've seen it with friends and family. If you save and you're consistent and you diversify, and you can just buy stocks. I'm not even telling you to buy cryptos or real estate. Just put the money and let it work for you, invest it. You will have 7 figures if you do things consistently. If you can put away $10,000 a year, start young, and go to your 60 or 70, you will have 7 figures. And if you put $5,000 or $6,000 a year, you'll have high 6 figures and maybe 7 figures depending on your return. It's available. It's a wealth gap. We could bridge the wealth gap. If people just listened and understood the power of the retirement system, we could help people climb the wealth ladder. We could. It takes time, though. You're not going to just buy your Ferrari next week, okay? But it's a sacrifice for your kids. So my grandparents, that came to this country with nothing, literally a suitcase, okay, from Europe. They sacrificed. They worked in restaurants, and they literally sacrificed so my parents can go to school. They went to college, and they've saved and sacrificed for me so I can go to school, went to law school. And now I'm sacrificing my kids so hopefully I can pay for their school, and ultimately, hopefully, all this savings, they can buy a home. Okay, so that's the point. We all have to sacrifice. It takes time. Sacrifice. It's not as hard as it was, right? We don't have to walk through a desert or climb through a fence, for freedom. We're lucky. We're in the greatest country in the world. We just need to focus on what's important. My father always said, I'm going to end with this. Any moron can spend money. It takes a real person to save. Okay. And unfortunately, in America, we love to spend, and we're all about spending, okay, and consumption. But we need to take a step back and just think about every dollar we don't spend, we could save it, and we invest it in cryptos or real estate or stocks. And it makes a difference because the money just grows and grows and grows. And trust me, in 8, 10, 15 years, you'll look at that money and say, wow, holy cow, like I have money. And that's just, there's nothing more rewarding and for me, exciting. So there you go. I kind of went on a bit of a tangent. I'm sorry, but I just love talking about cryptos and retirement funds because it's such a perfect marriage because cryptos are really at the infancy, and the power of the retirement system is just time, right? It just takes time. But once you have patience and just focus on contributing, being consistent, and having patience, it's guaranteed you will have wealth, enormous wealth. and you can do amazing things. I've seen it. You can buy your kids a home. You can pay for your grandkids' college. Like, you can do crazy good stuff. So there you go. I appreciate everyone watching. Thanks so much. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's a great YouTube channel, IRA Financial. We drop 5 videos, 3 podcasts. I do YouTube live every week. Usually not as long as this, but this was just kind of so much fun. And that's it. I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to do a YouTube live. I guess I'll do it next Wednesday. I know it's like pre-Thanksgiving. I'll do it at noon next Wednesday. Probably keep it short because probably people have other things on their mind and preparing for Thanksgiving, but I'll do something fun. So there you go. Have a wonderful weekend, and talk to everyone again next week.